All right, everybody, welcome back to the Delusional Fan with Geraghty McCloud. Chris Geraghty here, Ryan McCloud there. Remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel and check us out on Facebook and Twitter. We will respond.
If it strikes you.
Yeah, and if you like any of these segments, make sure you comment on them. We've already gotten a lot of great comments, agreeing and really disagreeing with things we have to say, so that's what we like about it. So I wanted to take this time and talk about, now that the NBA Finals are over, some big things are going to happen. Now, they're saying next year is really going to be the year of the free agent, but I still think there's some important things that are going to happen in this offseason. What do we know right before we start the show today? All the reports come down.
Crazy, man.
And Derrick Rose. Yeah, that's why he's wearing the jersey. Derrick Rose was traded to the Knicks. Now, the package has the Knicks gave the Bulls Robin Lopez, Jerian Grant, Jose Calderon in exchange for Rose and Justin Holiday and the 2017 second-round pick. So next year's second-round pick, right?
Yes, right.
So one of the comments I had heard, because I was posting a little bit on Facebook, one of the comments I had heard is a friend of mine said table scraps. They got table scraps for Derrick Rose, which is I completely disagree with. Okay. Now, I know you're a Derrick Rose guy. So how do you feel about what happened?
So you got to understand, when you say I'm a Derrick Rose guy, it's a bittersweet thing for me. I can tell you with full certainty that I was 100% okay with this.
Okay.
Yeah, it was time to part ways. This is going to be better for Derrick Rose. This is going to be better for the Chicago Bulls. Ultimately, it will be. Okay. It's tight, dude. It was had him since 2008, and this is why it's also bittersweet for me. I have a lot of memories with Derrick, right? It was 2008. It's a long time. It's almost a decade that a lot's happened, not only in my life, but just in sports in general. And so there's just him being drafted in the probability of us actually getting that number one pick that year was like a percentage.
Right.
And we stole this number one pick, and there's so much excitement surrounding him, and rightfully so. He comes in and gets Rookie of the Year. He wins that MVP, the youngest player to ever win the MVP in 2011. He had us on the cusp, man. He had us right there on the brink of making a title run. They went to the Eastern Finals and lost handedly to the Heat. I'm just saying, at that point, you can't sit here and tell me at that point that you weren't super excited for what the future held. The youngest MVP ever, Eastern Conference Finals. Come on, man. There was a chance for them to improve and get better.
Do you want me to answer you now?
Sure, yes, please.
You don't? Okay. If you want me to answer that question, when I saw what the Heat did, the excitement I had leading up until that series, I lost all of it. Okay. I thought at that point we were so far behind that we weren't a player or two away. We were turning a team around to play, because that was the best the Bulls could do at that point.
Yeah.
Right? There were no other great free agents we were going to bring in. There was just nothing else that was going to work with the Bulls at that moment. And when we got blown out as bad as we did by the Heat,
you knew it was over.
I knew it was over.
Dude, come on. That's the Cub and Bear fan coming out of you.
There is a difference in talent when you watch those games. And no matter how good Derrick Rose played.
Yes. Yeah.
He could not bring us to a championship.
What you're forgetting is he was 23 or 24 years old. No, it does matter if he doesn't get injured, Chris. This is where it comes to, and this. I'm just telling. Hey, look, and we're obviously going to differ on this. You're seeing it as, wow, we got spanked. There's no chance we have in the future. Whereas I see it as that would have been a learning experience. Didn't Jordan? Is that what you were saying when Jordan was getting beat down by the Pistons? Were you saying no way this guy can do it?
Jordan was doing things nobody else was doing. Derrick Rose shouldn't have even won the MVP that year.
Oh, come on.
He had 23 points a game. That wasn't even that good.
It was like 24 point something.
It was 23 and a half.
And he had
Still wasn't that good.
And how many assists? Like 6 or 7 a game.
Right, and he doesn't freaking rebound, and he doesn't play defense. It was the fact that he led
that squad to 60-plus wins and the best record in the NBA. And this is, we kind of talked about this before the show. I like giving the MVP to people like that. I do. I thought Barry Sanders, or not Barry Sanders, Adrian Peterson deserved the MVP a couple years ago, right? And they had that tie. Like he deserved to be acknowledged for that type of year.
He was the best player on his team. He was the most valuable player on his team.
No, yeah, that's true. But it was the same year that Peyton Manning shattered every single record in the quarterback in the books. So I'm saying,
tied him.
Okay, and I'm saying there's not a tie here, but I'm okay
there
with
wasn't a tie. LeBron James should have been MVP.
My vote should have gone or would have gone to Adrian Peterson is what I'm saying, and I'm bringing a different sport. I'm just saying a guy had a special season. He deserved that award.
I think it's apples and oranges.
Okay. But at any rate, look, he's gone now. I think it's for the better of the Bulls moving forward to part ways. There was a lot of off-the-court stuff that happened with Derek, too, right? His brother Reggie, his clique, his little group that he hangs out with and that he runs with, and the whole
crazy girl.
The whole and the whole comment of I want to be able to go to a business meeting and sign a deal and not worry about my knees later on in life. Like there's things that again, but those are people in his ears saying that to him. I think Derrick Rose is actually really good. I don't know him. I think he comes across as actually a really genuine good guy. He did a lot for the city. He actually did, man. If nothing else, he kind of inspired people, kids from the city. He came from a rough part of the town and
from Chicago,
right? And so I think that he did a lot for us and was memorable for us. But it's good that we're parting ways. I think he's the best player out of the trade. I think they got a better deal than we did. I'm not going to call it scraps, but I certainly think they got the better deal out of this, which is okay. We're in full-blown rebuilding mode, and if we want to get into like free agency and stuff like that in Bulls, they are in full-blown rebuilding mode.
Yes.
Noah is gone. He's going to be gone. Yeah.
I'm more sad to see Noah go than Derrick Rose.
And I hear that. Noah was our team, like our heart and soul for a long time.
Hardest worker on the team.
Mm-hmm. Set the pace.
I was part of that 2010-2011 season, watching Derrick Rose just take over. Mm-hmm. You know, even though you had guys like Kobe and LeBron still lighting it up. And again, I thought LeBron should have been MVP that year, but I was happy D-Rose got it. But once those finals rolled around and once the Bulls got blown out, and then I watched the finals and the two teams that were in the finals that year, I knew the Bulls would have never had a chance. And they were more than a player two way, and I knew Derrick Rose wasn't the guy to lead a team. He could be a piece. Like, my brother made a point talking before this. He doesn't like the trade. He likes Derrick Rose. And he thinks Porzingis, Carmelo, and Derrick are going to be an offensive juggernaut.
I think I saw that post, and by the way, I like that lineup. I do too. And he's going to be playing his he's going to go hard next year, Derrick is. For that team, he's going to have a little chip on his shoulder. And not only that, but that is it, but he needs to stay healthy. That's really the difference.
Well, he can't stay healthy. Okay, that's already been proven. Well, and even if he is healthy, he can't be back to what he was in 2011.
No, I agree.
So and he doesn't play defense.
He can be
and he's a liability on defense.
Of it. He can resemble the old Derrick and have flashes of it, but I don't think he'll ever be that guy again.
Yeah. I was happy to see him go. I think he was a detriment to Jimmy Butler, who I'm glad is the new player on the team.
Dude, but
the new leader of the team.
I think he's been the leader for the last year, and I also.
But there was a conflict,
I don't know how you build around Jimmy Butler, though.
Why not?
I just don't see how you build around Jimmy, but he's not that dynamic of a scorer and an offensive playmaker.
I think he can be.
Okay, and we'll see now. This will be his fifth year in the league or something. We'll see, man. Look, going away from the Bulls, if that's okay with you.
Yeah.
I mean, what do you think is the biggest move that's going to happen moving forward here? What are you kind of forecasting or seeing?
There's two guys that, LeBron can opt out and go where he wants to go. Mm-hmm. There's reports coming in. He's staying in Cleveland, which I think he stays in Cleveland for another year to see what happens.
You got to go for a repeat. He can't pass that.
Exactly. But I think what happens, though, is next year he leaves no matter what. And something tells me, I shouldn't say something tells me that there's been reports going around.
Sure.
But I don't see any reason LeBron doesn't go and restart the Showtime Lakers.
That's just that is a report flying around there. I guess I may have missed that one. I don't know.
He's going
to the Lakers.
He just bought a home in LA.
Showtime.
He just bought a home in LA.
That would be the if he goes to LA to win a championship or do anything, that's fine with me. He better not be saying like I'm going to go restart Showtime. That'd be another PR nightmare for him to say something like that.
I'm saying that.
Yeah.
But you can't tell me it wouldn't be they wouldn't call it like something similar to that. Like if he brought another one or two superstars, him and Chris Paul, or him and somebody goes there to light things up for the Lakers again.
They tried to get Chris Paul in LA to the Lakers, I mean.
Number two is, as of right now, since it looks like LeBron is staying and we agree he should stay, KD is the next one. So what do you think about KD? Because
I think he ultimately ends up staying.
Do you think money's not an issue for him?
I think money is an issue for him, but I also think he has like a $200 million deal with Nike, and I think he is comfortable there. And I think that he has good people. It seems like this is kind of anti-Derrick Rose, right? He's got people, it seems like, that keeps him in check for the most part and kind of gives him a good lookout. And I think people would be smart to tell him, I don't know if, because he has some moments where he kind of gets heated with the media, and that's in Oklahoma City. There's no way he survives L.A. or New York or even maybe Chicago. So, I don't know. I think he ultimately stays put. I think he's comfortable there. I think they do have a good thing going. Obviously, the flip side to that is they haven't gotten it done yet. How are they going to get it done moving forward?
What do you think about the fact that Golden State has enough cap space to sign him?
I think that sounds great. I don't know if that, and obviously that's like a scary
do you think
vision? That's like a nightmare.
Yeah.
Like I don't want to think about it and what that could be.
Because you telling me that if the way Steph Curry played in these finals, that KD wouldn't be like, just give me the ball.
I've heard Dirk Nowitzki.
I know he opted out too.
Dude, I actually really like that though. Brings a little savvy vet to the team. He does fit that somehow. Even at 38,
he doesn't fit the speed of the team.
And that's what I'm saying. Yes, he doesn't. But all this unique passing and movement and deep shots and
the best
shooting lights out.
Best European ever to play.
He's up there.
Who else is there?
Yes, look, I'd probably agree with you that he's
the Croatian sensation. Tony Kukoc.
Is that on the top five?
All right. A good one. So I would say I can see KD going a few different places. Golden State for sure. I don't know any reason he wouldn't want to go to LA. He just bought a house in LA too. I can see Miami going after him. Think he might want to play with D-Wade, Bosh.
Hey, dude, make a
big 3 times 2.
Something I saw was there's some people making whispers about Dwight Howard.
Yeah,
us dumping everything and doing something.
Wait, us, you mean Bulls?
Yes, doing something as foolish as getting Dwight Howard. Can you imagine though?
You ready for this?
Can you imagine?
I'd rather keep Derrick Rose.
Of course,
I'd rather keep Derrick Rose in a suit on the sideline than have Dwight Howard out on the court.
Anybody would.
Yes. All right. So next big one, and I like this kid too. I think he's going to be an underrated signing. Al Horford from Atlanta. I know Boston's looking out for him. Miami's looking for him. I don't think he's going to stay in Atlanta. He could resign. Atlanta's got money for him. They're a young team, not huge contracts. They've got money for him. But I think Atlanta is one of those teams that they're not close enough. I don't think for an NBA champion right now just signing Al, but Al could be a nice piece somewhere else. Yes?
No? Yeah. No, Al Horford's a great starter. I mean, that he gives you points, gives you rebounds. Yeah, absolutely.
Well, and he's a guy that does well in space. So again, he's another guy also I think Golden State could make an addition like Al Horford because he's a guy who can score.
Oh, he would fit well too. Yeah, absolutely. So, I mean, and any of these guys, by the way, are interchangeable with San Antonio because they would just fit no matter what.
You
know what I mean?
I just don't like talking about San Antonio.
Yeah.
There's
just saying.
Now, again, this guy's a little down on the list. Mike Conley from Memphis.
It's a good guard out there.
They're probably going to re-sign him though.
Yeah.
Andre Drummond, who I really like from Detroit.
Yep.
Now, again, Drummond can get a max offer sheet from Detroit. They've got the cap space there, and they've already started talking to him about it, so I think that's what's going to happen. But can you imagine if he makes a hop, skip, and a jump over to New York, what they could do with him, considering they've got their offense now. They've got Rose, Porzingis, and Carmelo.
Yeah, now you get
put somebody like Drummond there.
Yeah, you got a nice defender there.
That's big time.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So that's something I can see Phil Jackson doing, yeah. Raptors, DeMar DeRozan.
Yeah.
I'll take him on the Bulls. I like DeMar DeRozan.
Here's the thing: I would take any of these guys on the Bulls, for sure.
The only problem is you're going to have.
But what are we at? And it's not even worth bringing up the Bulls because I have no idea what we're doing.
I don't either.
I really don't, man. It's full under construction.
Let me bring this up to you because I want to go back to Dwight Howard.
Okay.
What do you think about Dwight Howard if Nowitzki...
Well, they're talking about the Knicks too. They're talking the Knicks or the Bulls, and these are just it's all speculation right now.
Phil Jackson wants to deal with Dwight Howard.
I'm sure he doesn't either.
What do you think about him?
It's just an enticing thing. Phil Jackson's kind of losing touch. So anyway,
Dwight Howard, I think, could fit really well in Dallas if Nowitzki goes.
I don't think Dwight Howard can fit anywhere.
Okay.
I don't.
You don't see him on any team?
He's gonna get signed by some team. I just don't think it ever works out. Yeah, and that's what I mean. I just don't see how he never. This happens every year. It feels like Houston, LA, Orlando.
Yeah, the only other thing I guess is what the Bulls are going to do, and right now they're kind of in blender mode.
Yeah, I'm just not looking forward to rebuilding. It's I feel like we.
I mean,
again, there was so much hope.
6, 7, 8 years away from doing it.
And I was talking to my brother-in-law Bergs, and we were talking about how it's you have to get super lucky in the NBA, right? You have to get like a lucky on your draft pick or lucky enough to get a top 2 pick or whatever to get one of those major franchise-changing players.
Are you talking like a Draymond Green that they were lucky getting him in, as late as they did?
Yeah. It's funny because we were talking about being lucky. My brother Chris chimed in and he says, lucky like getting the first pick in the draft when you're not supposed to, like we did with Derrick Rose lucky? Right. And Berg says, he goes, no, like passing up on actually choosing Westbrook over Derrick Rose in that draft as number 1, lucky. That kind of lucky. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If we actually would have had that foresight. So it's interesting. We'll see. I'm not looking forward to it. It's going to suck for the next few years for the Bulls in specific, but it'll be exciting to see what happens. I don't think anything blockbuster. You mentioned this at the very first beginning of the segment. I don't think anything blockbuster is really going to happen. I don't.
The only blockbuster
this is as blockbuster as
would
it
be
will
KD.
get.
KD
and that's what I
moving
mean.
on would be a blockbuster.
If that happens, that would be beyond my expectations for this season. I don't see it happening.
I don't either. Because he can opt out again next year and then get matched.
Make even more money. You're right.
All right. I think before we end this segment, I think I speak for Ryan when I say we both want to give out a heartfelt apology and a big I'm sorry to Ben Simmons for having to play in Philadelphia. I guess
just tough.
Yeah,
tough
just
shit
wasting away in Philadelphia is going to be terrible for that poor kid.
Man, that sucks.
Yeah, it's just going to be awful.
And also a thank you to Derrick Rose. Honestly, I mean that. Thank you, Derrick Rose. It was good while it lasted. He was great for us for a while. Good luck. I appreciate it.
Can't wait to see what kind of suits you're going to wear in the sidelines there in New York, buddy. All right.
We're off.
We'll be right back with the top 5.